Hi there, this is Brent Harris. Thanks for being here. Welcome back to my living room. Welcome back to my channel. If you've never met me before, I am a personal coach. And so what I do is I work one-on-one with people, and essentially I guide them into transforming into the higher and better versions of themselves that they see in their imagination. I find a lot of us just have ideas about like what life would be like if we were, if all of like the blockages were kind of moved out of the way, and if all the right opportunities presented themselves. We have this version, we have this in our imagination, we have in our imagination how our lives could be and the contributions that we could offer to the world, and just how good all of that would be. And so that is my role, shifting a person from there to there. And so I've been doing this for a little while, and in a one-on-one kind of setting, and I feel this strong urge to create videos like this one that offer principles that come up in these sessions that are available to you, that you can watch and use in your own life, and hopefully use it to transform your own life. And so that's what really turns my crank. Now, I ask you kindly to bear with me, because I love making videos, I love doing this, but it's still kind of a weird feeling, and ideally over time I'll get a little bit more relaxed with it. But at this point now, it's still like a little bit just kind of strange and unusual for me, the experience of like talking into a camera. But nevertheless, what I like to do, I want to make a video for you now. And I want to share with you this really important principle that's been emerging lately, that I think can offset a lot of depression that people are going through, and really offer you a lot of clarity where there is currently confusion when it comes to like, how do I live my life? What should I be doing with my life? I don't know how to operate. I don't know, what to do or where to go. And there's like too many options and kind of this kind of thing. I think I'm just going to adjust a little bit. There we go. That looks good. Okay, cool. So this idea is that I want to invite you to have more faith in yourself. Something that I've noticed about people who have become really successful and really stable and kind of have great momentum in their lives, and people who don't, is this one essential ingredient where what the successful people are doing is they have faith in who they are, and they have faith in the choices that they make, and they have faith in the choices that brought them to where they are now. And so I want to start with that point there. So a lot of us feel burdened by our past. And if our lives don't take the shape that we want it to right now, if we find that we don't have enough money, or if we have like not enough friendships, perhaps we blew off, friends and friendships that otherwise could have been nurtured into stronger friendships, or anything else. If we just find our life isn't the way we want it to be, we often tend to blame our past decisions. And this can be very debilitating, because well, on one hand, because this is a way that we abuse ourselves by kind of being hard on ourselves for what we did in the past. And it's also a way of keeping ourselves restrained and keeping ourselves small and keeping ourselves limited, because we're using this to believe in our own limitations. So I'd like you now, ideally, to look at all the decisions that brought you to where you are now, especially the ones that you feel shitty about, the ones that you that they come up, just despite yourself, they just kind of come into your awareness like, oh man, I can't believe I did that. I shouldn't have done that. And what I would like you to do is I'd like you to acknowledge that in all of these decisions, regardless of how major they were or how minor they were, I would like you to acknowledge that in these moments, you were doing your best. And obviously now, with the advantage of hindsight, with the advantage of retrospect, you are able to realize what you could have done better. You're able to realize, smarter choices that you could have made. And that's good, because there's like, that's really how life is supposed to work. We make decisions and we get the feedback and we're like, okay, I want a little bit of less of this, a little bit more of that, and then I'll make better decisions going into the future. Nevertheless, when you made the choice that you made the choice based on the best resources and intelligence that you had available to you at that time. And I would like for you to respect that. Because if you refuse to respect that, and if you refuse to acknowledge that you're doing your best, then you're just, you're just not giving yourself credit, and you're not allowing the solution to come to a close, and you're just kind of holding yourself stagnant. And really, honestly, you just deserve better. You just deserve more space, and you deserve more allowance, and you deserve more love, and you deserve more credit for all the hard work and all the effort and attention and all the good intentions that are at the very bottom of every decision that you make. And they're there underneath all the decisions that you make, the ones that you approve of and the ones that you don't approve of. There's a good intention in there. There's an intention for growth, and there's an intention for wellness, and there's an intention for peace, both for yourself and for everybody else. Ultimately, I think you will find. So, would you be willing now to acknowledge that? Would you be willing to give that credit to yourself? It's either a yes or no answer. If you find yourself like, I don't know if I can, or yes, but, or maybe, but I don't know if I can. No, forget about all that. We're asking a yes or no question here. Are you willing to give more credit to yourself? Yes or no? Hopefully yes, good. Are you willing to give yourself a little bit more slack? Cool. Would you be willing to acknowledge that you're doing your best and that you've always been doing your best? Amazing. It feels kind of good, doesn't it? It feels like, it just feels like the nervous system unwinds a little bit. It's nice. And now you're no longer captive. You're no longer chained. You're no longer bound by these decisions that you made. There's a slate wiping effect about this, where it's like, okay, like you did your best, it's good. Now here we are. Here we are in the present. What now? What now? And so that brings us to the second point, and the second and final point. Let's just do. So I'd like you to have faith that you know what you're doing. So there are a lot of us now, especially this new crop of humans, for whatever reason, it's fascinating, but there's this new crop of humans that just kind of come alive with this super contrarian energy. A lot of humanity has been operating in a particular way that's been going on for generations and generations. If you'd like to learn more about this, I recommend the Ishmael trilogy by Daniel Quinn, which it's loosely based on this like the principle of like expanding and conquering and taking and exploiting and taking as much as you can. And there's this new crop of humans that are really focused on sustainability and focused on harmony and focusing on the dropping of conflict and living in such a way that it can be sustained in the long term for all concerned. And so that includes like ourselves, family, community, humanity, earth, and so on. And so with this old way that's on its way out, there's a sense of conviction in this way of life. There's conviction. It's like, here's what you do, here's how to live, here's how to be a person. And this new crop of humans, it's like, no, like I don't like this, it's not right, I'm not feeling it, it's unhealthy, it's not good. But there's also a sense of confusion about, how do I live? What do I do? What do I do with my life? How do I be a person? How do I socialize? How do I have a career? How do I make money? What's money? There's this big fucking question mark about all of this that is kind of on top of this sort of no toward the old way. And what I want to invite you to know is that you do know what you're doing. And the confusion arises when people of the old way who still prefer the old way, there's that sense of conviction that's so seductive and so deeply rooted that we'll get thrown off by it, and we'll be like, oh my God, other people seem to know what they're doing. And so I would like to invite you to find an even deeper sense of conviction. Not necessarily that you have the answer or I have the answer about how to live and how to do all these things, how to be a person and so forth, but that there is wisdom in you that came out of the factory with you, that made the decisions that you made, in which there is wisdom that, if you're willing to look for it, is there. And that wisdom is there in you now, but it doesn't take the form of a principle or an idea or a strategy so much as it takes the form of just a following of the intuition, a following of the string. Like, I want to do this. Like, for example, making this video right now, like, I don't really know where this is going to lead. All I know is that I have like this strong, like this urge that whenever I'm doing something else, it's like, I want to make a video. I want to make a video. I would love it. I would love to do this. This feels right for me. That's that deep, almost biological sort of intuition and guidance, to tune into that and to know that it's there and to know what it feels like and to trust that it's an undercurrent that's leading you to your destiny, which is your higher evolved self. So if you find confusion, it's okay. Just don't believe in it. Don't get caught up in it. Don't get caught up in this idea that you don't know what you're doing. Because on the mental level, of course you don't. But the deeper aspects of you, the part of you that is an organism that belongs in the universe, does know. And you can tune into it. And it's available for you on a moment-by-moment basis, including right now. And you can discover it and tune into it by asking questions like, what now? What do I want to do now? What would feel good? What kind of arouses my curiosity, my interest, my excitement? What's something I'd like to create? What's something I'd like to do? Where would I like to go? What would I like to bring more of in my life? What people? What kind of influences? Books, speakers, nature, that kind of thing. That's it. That's what I got for you. You are very well. You are on course. Being confused doesn't mean you're off course. Let yourself be immersed in this feeling that you're on track and that everything is well. And that will be the lubricant to making things work even better for you. Thank you very much for being here. Take care, and if you'd like a free one-on-one session with me to try out one-on-one coaching, just head to my website. It's my name, Brent Hurus, BrentHurus.com, and you'll find a link to my Calendly page and an FAQ and a lot more information on how that works. Thank you so much. Take care. I love you. Bye.